ahead and start.
Buen día, mami.
Says on the beat, boy.
Te ves bien hoy.
Pressure. Every day I try to change. I'm in the third lane doing 80 in the rain and it's pressure. But trying to maintain a different aim. But everybody's pointing. Feel like I'm the target at the range and I'm steady bruising in my own pain. When I let it go, the evil thoughts come back the same. I'm just trying to make it in my own name. But it's a roadblock. The cost when you cross in the fame pressure.
Yeah, it's pressure. At the intersection, you on the brakes, can't get too invested. Every decision like a new investment that you accepted. You scribbled on that dotted line and shit got hectic. It's been many people that folded under that type of pressure. This world is cold, you knew that life would test you. When you got old, you made a slight correction. I did the same and they was proud of my direction, dealing with this pressure.
They tell me pressure bust pipes. Maybe they just need a different type of pipe. Cause all my damn life, I've been taught to deal with pressure on sight. Cause when you bless, you move right. And when you stress, you lose sight. You gotta keep your focus and know that motivation's key. If you're not motivating me, then use a total hater G. So let me elevate. They keep it down, I'm trying to meditate.
Hey, chill.
Hey, I'm just trying to find a better way. Okay. I had to learn to switch gears. Cause you just a small portion in the big field. We know shit can get real. That 1% they getting big meals. And while we stuck just paying big bills. See, I just can't sit still. Look at my check, bitch, get real. Now how the fuck I'm supposed to live here? I'm still trying to kill Bill. Cause every month this fucking still bill. I never fold, bitch, I'm still real.
Every day I try to change. I'm in the third lane doing 80 in the rain and it's pressure. But trying to maintain a different aim. But everybody's pointing. Feel like I'm the target at the range and I'm steady bruising in my own pain. When I let it go, the evil thoughts come back the same. I'm just trying to make it in my own name. But it's a roadblock. The cost when you cross in the fame pressure.
Look, I done had that pressure bearing down on me.
It was to the point it was nothing but diamonds found on me.
Nobody around, no shoulder to lean on.
So I just kept my dream. Why they worry about where we going?
Made it look easy. It was not though.
I tried to miss the pothole. Just know them haters plotting on me.
Took them stairs to the top floor and kept it moving.
A hard head making two. I won't lose, I refuse.
Every day I try to change. I'm in the third lane doing 80 in the rain and it's pressure. But trying to maintain a different aim. But everybody's pointing. Feel like I'm the target at the range and I'm steady bruising in my own pain. When I let it go, the evil thoughts come back the same. I'm just trying to make it in my own name. But it's a roadblock. The cost when you cross in the fame pressure.
Ride out.
Yeah, we back in the building. Big Business Podcast. This is episode 36.
36. Hey, what's good, people? We here now, you know. Yeah, man, episode 36 we in this thing. What's good, D-Love in the building? We got a lot to talk about, man. It's a lot going on in the world.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
A lot going on in the world. I think we can probably go ahead and crank this thing up. Unless you know, what you know.
No, yeah, we go ahead and get to it, man, because like you said, there's a lot.
There's a lot
to talk about. So let's go
ahead.
Yeah.
Time, let me pop my shit, man. Big talk. They done got me pissed off. Yeah, $40 bottle, ain't no crystal. I ain't perked up in a minute, back to business, about to lift off. Bitch, I'm talking big talk. They done got me pissed off. Yeah, $40 bottle, ain't no crystal. I ain't perked up in a minute, back to business, about to lift off. Bitch, I'm talking big talk.
Big talk, big business. You know.
Yeah.
So how you feeling, man? What's the word, man?
Man, feel good, man. Glad to be here one more time with my folk. You know what I'm saying? I'm good. How you feeling, man?
Good, man. How about them Falcons, man? Hey.
You know, I don't talk very very fast when it comes to the Falcons because they
Right.
quick down. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
very very proud of them for pulling out the win.
Okay.
And
Okay.
it was kind of a bittersweet moment because it happened to the player that's from Brunswick. D. Slade was the one who was guarding Jake London,
Right.
and I know it was a very bad moment for him because he lost to Atlanta, and I ain't gonna say he's the cause of the loss, but the final play that brought Atlanta back on, put Atlanta back on top. That was his man. But salute to D. Slade, man. We still love you anyway, man.
Okay. Okay. So I wanted to start off by asking you a question, my brother. I,
Uh-oh.
I was, going through the YouTube streets, and I heard a topic come up, and I was like, I haven't heard nobody talk about it. So, the question is, should people with HIV and AIDS get disability checks?
No,
Mm.
no, no. What? Oh, that's
Do
that's
you
kind
want?
of tough because it really depends on. I feel
Go
like
ahead.
how it's contracted. You out here living reckless, that's one thing. But if you got the R word, I would feel like that wasn't your fault.
Right.
So I would have to change my mind to say yes because unless they would actually do the research and find out how it was contracted and say, okay, you are eligible for disability. You feel what I'm saying? I would look at it that way. But if you out here just fucking everybody in sight and you contracted it, yeah, it's your fault.
Yeah, and the this D Love say, if you're not a victim, then no. And that would be the sticky part about it when you ask the question, should people with HIV and AIDS get disability checks? Because it's how is a court gonna prove? Like, how can they know? I don't
How
know.
can they know? How can they know how you contracted it?
Right. Like, I guess if there's a report that you got raped, and or I shouldn't have said that. Damn it, I meant to say R worded. Uh, but yeah, man, how would they know?
And that's why I said I don't know. Maybe they should, unless they did some research and find out. Okay, this is how it's contracted. It was documented that this person has it. It's also been documented that this guy has been convicted of the R word.
Right.
Those type of things. Other than that, I don't. It'll be really tough
Well,
to find out how they
right.
how they got it.
And me, I'm gonna go start digging and shit. It says the definition of disability under Social Security is different than any other programs. We pay only for total disability. No benefits are payable for partial disability or for short-term disability.
So what make HIV a disability?
We consider you to have a qualifying disability under our rules if all of the following are true. And I'm reading, of course. This isn't me answering the question, but you answered it. You asked that question spot on, and this is the last little tidbit I'm gonna read from. It says you cannot do work at the substantial gainful activity level because of a medical condition. That's one. Two, you cannot do work you did previously or adjust to other work because of your medical condition. That's two. And three is your condition has lasted or is expected to last for at least 1 year or two, result in death. Those are the three things.
It has to be all three. or just one of the three?
It said we consider you to have a qualifying disability under our rules if all the following are true.
Then you can't get it because you still can work. Now the second one, unless you're a porn star, you can't work no more. I'm just saying, you can't work no more. You know, but the first one,
Right.
nah, because you still are able to go to work. As long as you're
Right.
taking your medication, you can still work.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. I think that's one of them questions. It's hard to answer, but yeah, definitely. I feel like if they find out that you were just fucking around town, then no, we can't give you that. And it ain't that much money anyway. I think in Texas, the most you can get is like $900 something a month. So
I mean, it's better than nothing.
it definitely better than nothing. I don't know. I just wanted to go there real quick. I thought it was interesting. I never really dived into that discussion with nobody. So let me bring it up, man.
Yes, that's a very valid question. And no, I've never been asked that before.
That's what I told you before the show. I said, I'm gonna ask you something that you ain't never been asked.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah. But yeah, we definitely gonna crank up, man. Salute to the people. D Love in the building. She say, YJ, it's nope. It's you freestyling. Oh, say I'm out here freestyling. Yeah, man.
Right. Let's go ahead and crank up. You want to go and get to the Alabama situation?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We can go ahead and rock out. Go ahead and rock out.
Do you want to preface it, or let's go into it?
Well, all I will say, I think is, Alabama State is different. It's not like this everywhere, but in Alabama, there are prisoners of the state, not fed, of the state, who are actually working out in the public. We've heard of work release, where people get released to go to work and they go back and forth and things. But this is different. That's the one thing I want to point out. This is different. These are actual prisoners actually working at places like McDonald's, Golden Corral, working side by side as a prisoner with people who are free, citizens.
Yeah, just imagine your kid that they're working next to. Just a thought. Just a thought. Yeah, we're gonna get into it, and just tell me when you want me to stop it, man.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people are calling it modern slavery. Does that feel right?
I was just about to say that's slavery. That's slavery. You took away the whips, but you put the paperwork. Took away the masters, and you put them in uniform. Same difference. Same difference.
It kind of appears that there is a coordinated system in order to protect the labor that's created by the prison system.
Walk into a McDonald's in Alabama, and the worker flipping your McDouble could be an incarcerated person.
It's a sad situation, a way they getting rich off us.
The Alabama Department of Corrections farms out incarcerated people to work at hundreds of private companies and government agencies across the state.
McDonald's, Burger King, Golden Corral, Wendy's. They got a Wendy's contract right now. State Trooper's office.
They'll send everybody everywhere.
They'll send you everywhere. Yes, the parole office.
And even though ADOC trusts these incarcerated people to leave prison every day and work alongside the general public, many of them are still denied the chance at real freedom.
I work for y'all, but when I come up for parole, you deny me. Why would you deny me? Because you're getting free service.
This is a story about corporations and the state of Alabama exploiting prison labor and the coercive policies they use to keep its citizens trapped in servitude.
It doesn't work. It's a terrible system.
If you're wondering how any of this is even legal, well, it might not be. That's what we went to Alabama to figure out.
So yeah, could you just describe how long you worked here? And
I was here 18 months. I ran their kitchen by myself from 8 to 5 every Tuesday through Thursday.
Wow, yeah. That sounds like hard work.
It was.
Elizabeth Thomas was in the Alabama Work Release Program for 5 of her 15 years in prison.
So they had a combination of incarcerated people and free world people.
Yes. Yes.
Did you feel like there was a difference how they treated?
Oh, most definitely. We work longer hours.
Make the work release work over, work extra days, don't want to give you off days. Like, no, I got to eat my health. I have to get rest. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a machine. But that's how they look at you. Like,
This is Quincy Sanders. During his nearly 17 years in prison, he worked at several restaurants, a lumber yard, and McDonald's.
like working a real job and trying to stay being incarcerated is a very hard experience. You have to be mind strong, really.
Alabama has one of the most
You can stop it.
overcrowded and deadly prisons.
So I guess your initial reaction of hearing this, that like this is actually going on, I guess.
One thing that I caught this time that I didn't catch the first time you sent it to me was the fact that they're able to work in these places while being incarcerated. But once they're released, it's hard for them to find a job. That's bullshit, bro. Like, they should make it a part of the contract, even though that might not be a place that you want to work. But if you were able to work at this restaurant, McDonald's, Wendy's, wherever, while being incarcerated, once you release, you should be guaranteed a fucking job, bro. At least at one of these establishments. Because we know if you have a felony, it's hard for you to get a fucking job, bro.
That's true. That is true. Yeah, you definitely you should get something. As far as when it comes to the work release program that we know in the past of, someone who was in, who got to go from county to their job and whatnot, compared to this man say he was incarcerated 17 years. And for the public, what does that bring? I mean, to me, you got 17 years. You can get 17 years for a nonviolent crime. But when it comes to shit like that, man, it's like it's too much of a sticky situation. I feel like I don't understand how it's not how they chose to do this and not think about the liabilities or what could happen type of thing.
Right.
Because it seems like a huge liability. Go ahead,
Yeah,
Mark.
because just imagine. I mean, and like you said, you're speaking of violent crimes. I would hope they're not putting violent offenders out here in the streets working these jobs.
Right.
Incarcerated. Because what if one of them snap, hurt somebody, kill somebody? You're going to be held responsible for this. Unless somewhere in this contract you sign with this restaurant, it clears you from that, which I don't know.
Right. Yeah, I would assume that it's no violent crimes. It's people who have good behavior. You know how like like with any job, usually even the person who just mops the floor in the prison, even those people, you got to have good behavior. So I would assume that it is, people who do have good behavior, who've been on the straight and narrow, in which when it comes to the money aspect of what you get paid for, I kind of don't look at that too much because, of course, they're not paying these prisoners who are working at Golden Corral and working at this place and that place. They're not paying them what they're paying the free people. And it's understandable because they're not a free person at that time. So I think that's what makes me have mixed feelings because these prisoners, they are making something that they would not be making. They're doing something that's keeping them active and type of thing. But when it comes to them talking about, like they come up for parole. Say you've been doing this job for 2 years straight, no problems. You've been dishwashing at the Golden Corral for 2 years straight, and then your parole come up, and they deny your parole.
That's bullshit.
That right there looks like they just want you so they can keep that contract and keep that money flow going.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. And I don't know how the program works for the prisoners, but let me ask you this. if you are a prisoner, and let's say, for instance, you are that guy who you're facing 17 years,
right?
Would you rather spend majority of your time at that job or inside that prison?
At that damn job, as much time as possible. As much time as possible. You know, I'm sure they got a radio, some type of, you back there washing dishes. I would much rather be there. You know, you at least hit that hell there. You might be able to drive your little car down and see a little piece of ass sticking out of this little Model T. You know, you might be able to see something. You know, keep that in my memory bank for tonight when I get up in that cell. It's going ham. You know? But little shit like that to make you feel normal type shit. That's why it's like I kind of got mixed feelings on that part.
Yeah,
it's one little section at 913 we could touch on before we move on, but I don't know if you know. Yeah,
and I think this also can help them get, for those who do have a lot of time, it'll help them get acclimated back to regular society. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
All right, here we go.
Lineage from slavery in the state to convict leasing and to what we've got now. And the punishment by the Department of Corrections is what our clients are challenging, because that's what amounts to involuntary servitude and slavery by the state.
After the Civil War, the 13th Amendment abolished slavery with a key caveat. Forced labor was still allowed for people convicted of a crime, and the states adopted a copycat of this federal amendment. But here's the thing. In 2022, Alabamians made a historic vote to remove this exception.
The state has a new constitution. Voters overwhelmingly agreed to make our state constitution free of racist laws and language.
However, right after the voters of the state changed the state constitution, the governor and the Department of Corrections really doubled down on the punishment for refusing to work.
So the people closed the loophole and then the governor went around to open it up again, basically.
Yeah, that's right.
Governor Kay Ivey's executive order made
encouraging
or causing a work stoppage a high level.
So yeah, you see all the little loophole shit they do. The people voted for that this shit's some bullshit, and then the governor fucked around and flipped the shit. So basically, man, yeah, it's shit still going on, man.
It's about money, man.
The money.
It's all about money. And it's like that guy, I think it was a guy or a female, so they be working extra hours, sometimes 6-7 days a week. And the dude was like, man, what about my health? Man, I need rest. I get it. And they look like, nah, you're a part of this program. This is one of the stipulations. At any given day, you might have to work extra hours. Or any given week, you might have to work 7 days.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
You say, for the institution, I didn't hear, I didn't watch this whole video, and I didn't hear anything. I assume that it's for, to pay for things like you want a new, basically commissary type shit, so that you can be comfortable while you are there type of thing. Yeah.
You borging a little bit, bro.
All right. Yeah, we can move past that, though. I
guess he'll probably be back in just a moment. Yeah, I see what you say, D-Love. Executive order, yes. But yeah, we're going to keep it rolling. I just want to, while he getting this thing together, let me see if I can find this video I wanted y'all to listen to.
All right.
All right, you back?
Yeah, I'm here, man.
All right, so today, of course, it's a lot that happened actually today.
Oh, yeah.
And we definitely gonna talk about one of them. This video I just want to show y'all because, for one, of who it is, and of course who it's about. And how this guy, he's a stand-up guy. To me, I'm pretty sure the YJ, today was Rich Homie Quan's funeral. And just watching some of the video clips of people speaking, it was a very emotional ceremony. It was streamed live.
And,
I
didn't know that.
Yeah. I found a link. I put it in the chat. But very emotional day for Rich Homie Quan's family, the hip hop community in Atlanta and all over the world. But just want to play a little segment. I'm gonna cover it up because I don't know how it is about this on a news station.
Okay.
But you'll be able to hear it, and that's really what I want you to hear.
Right.
But check this out, man. Make sure I add it to the screen. I was sure finna hit play without even adding it. All right, here we go.
I'm in my travel clothes, so forgive me to family for not being properly dressed. I didn't even understand why I got the call. I'm here first to speak on the behalf of just the Black community here, because we've done a good job in this city. In the big city of Atlanta, in the small city of South Fulton. We've done a good job being examples that you can be anything you want to be. You can be a little boy who wants to play baseball. You can train, you can develop a discipline that although it doesn't lead you to the major leagues, it leads you to the major leagues in music, and you can be an example for young people after you. Anything is possible in this city, and Corey and Tammy have showed us that by the product that they produced. I want to thank them as parents for giving their child the stability that would give those beautiful children the confidence to know that they're competent to do anything they want. A lot of people might be like, who is that up there? My name is Michael Render. I'm Denise's son. And like Tammy's son, I sang and danced for a living. Like Corey's son, Michael and Anthony, my fathers, have watched proudly from the audience, and they've suffered some for me too. I just like to say that we're not burying a musician today. You're burying a man. You're burying a man who was a student at Fort Valley, who was a baseball player, who was a son to a mother and a father, who was a father to children, who was a loving companion by what the internet say to a few women. But the women that gave him his children, he treated with honor and respect. Never been in that man's presence and seen him disrespect. And I've been, and I'm not going to take longer than 2 minutes. I'm going to say this to Atlanta. I didn't know him intimately. I didn't know him as a homeboy. I wasn't hanging out in the studio. I judged him by the fruit he was, the tree that he fell from, his mother and his father. Everywhere I went in this city, you hear their name in high praise and honor. And everywhere he carried their name, it was in high praise and honor. So to young people in the room, I want to say, carry your parents' name in a way that when it's said, it's going to be honorable and high praise. I've never heard his father or his mother's name spoke lowly because I've never heard his name. I would like to say, see, because a lot of us in the music industry, our lawyers, our accountants and stuff, they be people that have a certain faith. They be Jewish folks. So I asked my accountant one time, I want to go to one of your high and holy days with you. He took me to Yom Kippur. And for those of y'all who follow the Abrahamic religions, Jewish, Christianity, Islam, one of the greatest things we've taught in those religions is forgiveness and grace. And I stand here in front of two amazing parents and an amazing community that produced him. But also, man, I stand here in a room full of some people, they was his rivals about 19 years ago. And they got over that rivalry and they forgave each other and they lived. He was an example of grace. He was an example of mercy and forgiveness, not only in what he gave and what he was willing to exceed. He didn't let his pride and his ego and insecurity get in the way of being a good man.
I want to pause it. Because what I did not know until after watching this video, one of the people he's speaking about that was his rival, they had some type of issue that they squashed it and they was cool. And now that nigga who had issues with him is now close friends with the whole family. Rollo, Y'all don't know who Rollo is? It's the guy who been beefing with Bootsy.
Yeah.
And I seen Rollo do a little live while he was at the funeral, and he said something that I hope he meant, which I know he meant one part, which he said he was glad he squashed the beef with Rich Homie Quan before he passed, because watching them close that casket, and you know you're not gonna see him again, watching a father bury his son, a mother bury her son, that did something to him. And he had said something, he was like, man, for the guy, those guys that I'm not seeing eye to eye with, or we done had some words, we gotta just put this shit to the side, man. I'm done with it. If you done with it, it can be squashed. And that's what that shit is about, people.
Right.
We're feeding these people the drama that they want so they can be entertained. And then next thing you know, somebody lost their damn life over some nonsense, which really wasn't even worth it. So I just wanted to share that with y'all, man.
And you feel guilty afterward.
Yeah. Because it's what they beefing about, man, is man, leave that rat shit alone, man. I understand people live by the street code and all that. But eventually somebody's gonna get hurt, man, because somebody's gonna take that shit personal. Because a lot of people don't like to be embarrassed for the world to see. And that's the biggest issue of when it comes to the killings and the murders in hip hop. The world sees the disrespect.
Right.
They want to feel that way, man. So salute the killer, Mike.
Yeah. Well said, man.
Sure.
Yeah, that was dope. You know, I'm sure there was a plethora of people who did come up.
Yeah.
I didn't know they were Rocco. Okay.
If y'all get a chance, go watch. And I think 11 Live might have done this, if I'm not mistaken. DC Young Fly, that boy talked. He talked, and y'all know he just lost his the mother of his kid, his wife.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think about a year ago, if I'm not mistaken, close to a year ago, something like that.
Right.
He said, I know the pain. I know the pain. And man, it was he talked that talk, man. So salute to our black brother standing up and speaking with intelligence. You know what I'm saying? And living by it. So that's huge to me in my book.
Yeah, man. Yeah, the pride and yeah, it goes deep. I think that was dope hearing that. We had another. We come to what, Tito?
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and do that one.
Yeah, we can go ahead and talk about that.
Yeah, it's been a lot, ain't it?
It's been a lot.
That's they say it comes in threes, right? They say death
Three.
comes in threes.
Well, I don't know how Trump got his ass the fuck up out of there with that one. He didn't. He done dodged another one, but I don't know how. Yeah, but hey, but yeah, definitely. Rest in peace, Tito Jackson. As far as music, did Tito was he? Because I don't know. I just remember hearing Tito, the name Tito. It'd be like the extra person.
The Jackson 5s. He was, I believe, he was a part of the Jackson 5s.
Okay.
Pretty much all of the brothers were.
Right.
Of course, Janet, she had her own solo career. But after the Jackson 5s, it just was Mike.
Right.
And I can't think of all of their names, but I think everybody remember Tito,
Yeah, Jermaine. I know the name Jermaine. I do that. I remember he had the slick, So have they had a funeral for him, for Tito?
I don't believe, not yet. I think he just died a couple of days ago.
Okay, so yeah.
But let's just take a look at this real quick. It's like a minute, 20 seconds.
Okay.
The Jackson dynasty mourning the death of Tito Jackson. He was 70 years old. While an official cause of death has not been determined, Steve Manning, a longtime family friend, tells ET Tito died of an apparent heart attack on Sunday while driving from New Mexico to Oklahoma. Tito was one of the famous Jackson Five, beloved brother to the late King of Pop Michael, and a father of three.
Michael was a common threat to the whole family, and I think the family has handled it very well, but it's a very big pill to swallow. So we're going to continue to love each other and support my brother's legacy, and that's what our goal is.
Tito shared this pic to Instagram just days ago, alongside his brothers, paying tribute to a memorial for Michael.
After we found ourselves, we found out that we are brothers and we are entertainers. So that's what we were put here to do. So that's exactly what we're doing.
One thing about it, them boys sharp. Them boys be sharp.
Better believe it. Better believe it, man. Yeah, Tito, I think he was the older brother of Mike, if I'm not mistaken. Mike died when he was 50, right?
It was something like that, yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember. So I have to do the math. Like he died in what, 2000? Was it 10? Man, I got to do my homework. But anyway, rest in peace to Tito Jackson. That's Tito, Rich Homie, Frankie Beverly, and it's one more.
James Earl.
James Earl, yeah.
Yeah.
We're losing a lot of legends. You know, I mean, we can call Tito a legend because he was a part of the legendary group, the Jackson Five. So,
right.
Yeah, man. Sad news to hear the passing of all these people that, you know I grew up listening to, and I listen to Rich Homie Quan. He on my playlist, and James Earl Jones. We all know he's that voice, Simba.
Mm.
You know. So yeah, I just want to do my due diligence and pay homage, man.
Yes, sir. B-Love say, yep, they were sharp. She believe he's a bass player.
Okay. All right. So yeah, where do you want to move to next, man?
Man, we can what we got on the docket? We can do the Unc. You want to talk about Unc real quick, man? Talk about
just on it. Yeah, go ahead and talk about Unc, man.
The Shay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure everybody is familiar with the news, or should I say the latest on Uncle Shay.
The self-inflicted news.
A lot of people have been, giving their thoughts on why it happened. And Shannon has spoke on it. And I ain't gonna lie, when I first heard it, I had my thoughts on why it happened. And then I said, man, you can't do that. But that just lets you know how long I've been in, podcasting and the media and paying attention to how things work. Your mind start to ignore what's right in front of you, and you start digging deeper than what you really should. And you dig deeper. Right. Sometimes it's worth it.
Yeah.
But sometimes you're like, man, why you can't take these people at face value? So I just left it alone. But we're going to play this little clip right here. Angela After Dark, and I think this is ET News, if I'm not mistaken. Shout out to ET News. So let's take a look at this real quick.
And welcome back. Time for Angela After Dark. We're talking about intimate moments that are made very, very public. We all remember when Kim Kardashian and Ray J's sex tape intentionally put a blast on making Kim a star. Now Shannon Sharp is seemingly experiencing a different issue. Today he appeared to live stream himself having sex on Instagram Live with sound only. He initially said his account was hacked, but tonight he says he's embarrassed about the whole thing, admitting that it was him.
Even when I'm behind closed doors, I still try to remain a level of professional, although I'm in the privacy of my own home. And I'm very disappointed in myself, not for the act. I think there are millions and billions of people of consenting age that engage in activities. But to have your most intimate detail on the audio to be heard, I'm disappointed in myself.
Now, Sharp says this was not a prank, nor was it staged. Dr. Angela Jones is here. You know, and you know, a lot of people are laughing. They think this is a titillating fact, detail. It's pretty sad that someone's privacy has been. You don't think it's sad?
I just, you know, there's something suspicious about it. But if
okay, we'll start there.
Yeah.
So he says he came in, he threw his phone down and took care of business.
Correct.
But you don't quite believe that, or you have questions.
Absolutely. So my question is, how many steps does your phone have to go through to go on live, right?
Oh, shit.
You have to go through quite a few steps. And he said he's never done live before.
Right.
So it's not like it was something he was about to set up and do and he forgot. And then number two, you can see the floor. So you threw the phone on a something clear so you can see the floor. So it's like, what was your phone actually on? You know, so, you know, this is my private detective eye. But here's, I just feel it's suspicious. Now, here's what I could say. I'm happy that he admitted it was him rather than saying his Instagram was hacked. And that
for people who think you're just saying that, for example, he came out this morning and said, my Instagram was hacked.
Because there's nothing to be ashamed about.
Yeah.
You're a man, you're single, you're having relations with someone named Michelle. So, I mean, good for you, you know, but as far as this situation, this is just a viral moment for him. It doesn't hurt him in any way. It may hurt the person he was with if they figure out who she is, but this is not going to hurt him. It just gets him in the news. You get to get talking. You get people talking about you. So it's not really going to hurt his image in any way.
So you think he intentionally, or I'm sorry, not you think there's a possibility
absolutely
that he may have done this intentionally?
There is a possibility.
Yeah. Timothy Taylor in the building, Miss T in the building. What's good? Crucial in the building. What's good?
What's happening? Y'all for sliding through. So before I even give what I think, man, tell me what you think about this whole situation, man.
I mean, he's a human, for one. He's a human. For two, this is what humans do. For three, he gained from the situation.
Okay. Okay, and I'm glad you said that because that's the point I would want to jump on because I listened to him talk when they had the roast. Ocho, they got the nightcap. That shit was fucking hilarious.
Godfrey came through, cooked his ass. Ocho Cinco got on his ass the first live stream. They had 34,000 in the chat.
I think it actually with the 70.
Oh yeah, see, I clicked off. 70,000 in the chat live.
So he stated that a lot of people, and I'm one of them, this is what I thought at first. Everybody was calling this man gay or whatever. And I felt like maybe, just maybe, he did this to prove to y'all that he ain't gay. Then that's when I caught myself and said, man, listen, it could have been a slip up. Who knows? Because I started thinking about the professionalism that he's displayed throughout his career, especially when he went into journalism and broadcasting on ESPN and things like that. Right. He always remained professional. Even when he did went over to Club Shay.
Yeah.
He always stayed professional. And it was just hard to believe that he would do something like this. And he brought up a great point. With this situation happening, he lost about $100 to $200 million deal. I can't remember who it was with.
He lost something?
Yeah, a sponsorship.
Oh.
He was signed for the next, I think he said maybe 7 years, something like that.
Damn. I wonder who that was.
I don't know. I can't even remember. I think he said the name, but I just don't remember who it was. And he said, you think that I would try to refute a rumor and risk losing $100 to $200 million just because y'all think I'm gay? Man, you crazy. So it makes sense to me. Like you got to be crazy. If you think I'm gay and I know I ain't, keep thinking it. Damn it, it's not hurting my numbers at all. But now he lost a goddamn contract. So of course he get to move how he want to now. But at the same time, you still lost millions, and he got a staff of 10 people just for a podcast, and you don't hardly hear that.
Right. Yeah, I did hear that part of it. I did hear that part of it. What's good, Cupcake in the building? I did hear that part of it about, he got 11 staff members to run the podcast. That's wild. That's wild to me. But it's understandable because of what he does and what he brings, the numbers he draws in. He can afford to do that and still profit and Ocho get his cut. So, but as far as losing, I'm seeing some here that say he said he could lose. I'm seeing some that say he did lose. Shannon Sharp claims advertisers are pulling out of his. That's a Daily Mail 5 days ago. So I'm seeing different things, and I don't have time right now to go into if he really just lost $200 million. But either way it go, I feel like, okay, you losing something, but what did you make? I feel like his trajectory is bigger than what he could lose from just this one. Like he's on that level where he's kind of like you can't cancel him type shit. Like Chris Brown. You can't cancel Chris Brown. You could say, oh, he's never done a Super Bowl. Yeah. I feel like Chris Brown, more than anybody, deserves to be doing the Super Bowl. Like more, if we're not talking about this year, I would say more than, but you can't really cancel Shannon Sharp at this moment. Like he doing it super large. Since the Cat Williams, his trajectory is crazy as far as what he doing. We even see Skip Bayless with a YouTube channel now, and he doing this shit after he got fired. He doing what Stephen A. Smith doing on his shit. So it's like
karma, bro. Skip, that's karma, goddamn.
Skip, hey, he over there getting his numbers though. He like, hey, okay, I see what it is. I'm about to get this AdSense on you motherfuckers. God damn it.
And just you reading what you seen, it doesn't matter what he say. Hell, look what Miss T said. She said, ain't nobody offer him that. Who he think he is? Jerry Springer? How you know that? How you know anybody offer that man that type of money? He's popping right now.
Man, look, I wouldn't. I definitely think it's plausible that he's been offered that. I definitely think it's plausible that he has deals right now that look good. If he's smart, he'll keep it independent, keep them 10 people he working with, and keep pushing, and because they also doing a nightcap. They do nightcap live now. Yep. Like they actually, I think a couple weeks ago they was in Atlanta and had a whole, filled up a whole little live venue with nightcap. So, that's turning into the 85 South show at this point. You went from a podcast to a live show and you still doing, so that's a whole different level.
You see this? T say because he's not a household name. Shit.
Well,
shit. Yeah, yeah he is. Yeah,
Timothy.
I mean, our generation.
Oh yeah. As far as sports analyst, yeah, he came in, with his little black and mild on the show on national television, smoking black and miles and shit, and it was a wrap from there. Because he was already, he was already known for being that guy with that, commentary, and people like his accent. People like that Southern shit. They love that Southern shit. Boss know with that smirk on his goddamn face. He's sitting over there with that smirk on him. Yeah, he's Southern boy. He got that he got that diction that, the masses, they like that shit. So, and it was something different to the world of sports analysts. Of course, we had the Michael Irvins and thing, but he had other issues. But
yeah, you was gonna read. I think Timothy.
Oh yeah, Timothy say once you get over 40, you don't care about what other people think about you. That's true.
That's big facts.
That's true. You just really don't give a damn. Cupcake say audio of him with the woman doesn't mean you're not bisexual. Oh, but before that, Cupcake said people mistake her for what she say? People mistake her name for being Michelle. So she said that woman could have been me. God damn it. I just throw it out there. Just being messy one time. I just want to throw that out there. But yeah, she said audio of him with the woman doesn't mean you're not a bisexual, but why do people care so much? And that's the thing, I always crack jokes at him because I don't know what man would call himself Shay Shay. I don't know. I don't see why. I don't understand it. But
yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I ain't gonna dig into that aspect, but I heard that before. Timothy Taylor say Gilly and Wallow got $100 million deal, and Club Shay Shay has passed them. Let's think about it. Well, he said holds a lot of weight. Of course, Gilly and Wallow, they've been doing their thing for a while.
Yeah.
But $100 million, I don't believe there was no fucking household name for them to get no goddamn deal like that. But they got one. So I see where you're going with that, Timothy.
Yeah, the numbers. I think for them, I never really even watched Gilly. I think I watched a couple shows from them, but when it comes to the podcast game, yeah, they are. It's Joe Budden and it's them and it's No Jumper and it's some other people in there, but yeah, they definitely one of the top ones.
Yeah, most definitely, and also I think Cam and Mace do a good job as well.
Oh man, Cam and Mace been doing their thing.
Yeah.
They've been doing their thing, and that's good to see, man, because that's like a lifetime, friendship, business partnership that you see from two black men coming and still working together. That's rare to see. I will say publicly is rare to see. You might say behind the scenes, this happens all the time. You just don't see it. Well, we see Cam and Mace. From the group that was in, the Henchmen. What was that group called? Grave Diggers. I forget, but yeah, man, they childhood friends, man.
Yeah, and they're doing a good job. And like you said, you don't see that very often. I think they funny as hell, man. That goddamn Mace be having me rolling, bro.
Yeah, nah, he do. He do. And they actually played basketball. It's footage of Cam. He had a little jumper on him. And so they definitely know something about sports. So ain't no nuance to the shit.
Absolutely. Yeah, we definitely had to talk about it. I know it's been out for a while, but we go live once a week over here. So we had to make sure we bring it up the next time we go live. And I'm gonna say salute to Uncle Shay Shay for doing your thing, man. What you did was just something we do on a daily basis. Yours just accidentally got recorded. And yes, I'm going to say accidentally because I have no proof that it was otherwise. Until you can prove to me that he did this purposely, you can't say shit. Well, you can, but you just speculate. And I try my best not to do that sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah. So
Children of the Corn. That was the name I was trying to think of. I said Grave Diggers. It was Children of the Corn. I was close.
So we got one more topic before the meat and potatoes. And no, we don't have a feel good story tonight. We had so many topics that to leave it off today.
Yeah, I did want to ask you what you think about. Okay, this might be a little bit of a sports topic, but it's one of them general sports topics. I think everybody could maybe. I don't know. I'm gonna ask this question to the chat, and I'm gonna ask it to you. So, how you say that Florida quarterback name Tua Tagovailoa? How you say that shit?
I'm gonna just say Tua, bro, because I can't pronounce it.
It's like Tua Tagovailoa. He got a $215 million deal for 4 years, right? And he's had 4 concussions since 2019. Okay.
That's crazy.
Every time you get a concussion, they say when you get concussions, they're easier to get later. Like the more you get, the easier it is to get him. He's a young guy. I think he's like 20 young 20s, right?
Yeah, he just came to the league maybe 3 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, something like that. He ain't been in the league that long.
He ain't been in the league. I remember when he was a rookie, but $215 million in 4 years, huge deal, right? As a young player. Okay, now from the standpoint of your health, and you know what concussions do to you, you got on one hand, you got generational wealth. On the other hand, you got our generational wealth. And on the other hand, you got your health. When it comes to that, do you think that someone with that many concussions, do you think they should cut it after this 4 years? Do you think he should cut it?
If he cares about living a somewhat healthy life and trying to avoid any type of mental health or any type of mental issues, I would say yes, because that's a fucking lot of concussions to have at such an early age in your career.
Right.
But again, sometimes people allow the love for something to blind them from the long-term effect of the decision. And it's almost just like loving someone. You will ignore the red flags that you're headed down the wrong path because of how much you love this person. Same thing with sports, bro. But I would say that's definitely a possibility. I think he may need to speak with a doctor. Around that time, he's maybe signing another contract or potentially signing another contract. But I think what's going to happen is if this shit continues throughout this contract he's in right now, if it continues to happen, there's no doubt in my mind nobody's going to a large contract anyway.
Right. What would you do, I guess?
Shit, I was actually in that situation, bro. It wasn't my head or concussion, it was a heart condition. My sophomore year in college, I had passed out and like stopped breathing, and I woke up in the goddamn hospital. And pretty much, I got a heart murmur. I don't know why I'm freezing up over here, but what happened was, they said the strenuous work that I do as an athlete playing football, college football, it could affect me. And once the doctor told me, he said, man, next time this happens, you might not wake up. Man, that's all you had to fucking tell me. That's all you had to tell me, bro.
Right. Yeah. Them 200 M's wasn't looming at that point, though. That's the only thing, it's one of them things, man. Them 200 M's, man, that might push you like, hey, we're going to be good. But, hey, one thing about it, man, the game of football is, and we're going to get off of this, but the last concussion he got, did you see it?
No.
Man, it didn't look good, man. Didn't look good at all. I seen it, man. It didn't look good, man. That's the 4th time. I'm like, oof.
Yeah.
I kind of
4 concussions, and he had been in the league, what, damn, just 3 years, maybe 4 years? I don't think it's been 4 years.
I think some of the concussions came in college to tell you the truth. If I remember from the report, I think some of them came in college. But I do think, like Timothy said, too, he not going to retire unless the NFL force him to. And I feel like he going to be here, man. He the Dolphin. He that man for them Dolphins. So anyway, I just want to
look at the money he got. That's enough. That's enough, bro. He can live off that.
Right.
That's how I see it. He can live off that if you invest your money right. You can flip that, bro.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Depending on what you doing with it, that's another thing. But I ain't gonna get into that. You say my son got 3. I pulled him from football. Yeah.
We're gonna move on to the elephant in the room, man.
Yeah, we here.
Yeah, we gotta go ahead and get to it, man.
Yeah.
Plus, if you all have been watching the news, y'all seen what happened to your boy, and it doesn't surprise me. I think it didn't surprise him. But let's take a look at this news article, and we'll talk about it.
We begin with that breaking news here at 6 today. A judge orders Sean Diddy Combs held without bail. He pleaded not guilty to racketeering, conspiracy, and sex trafficking charges following a bombshell indictment today. Alice Gaynor covers courts and joins us now live from Lower Manhattan with all the new details. Alice.
Christine, Sean Diddy Combs himself entered the not guilty plea. He walked into the courtroom with a very serious expression. He scanned the room. He had about 12 family members and friends there to support him. Otherwise, the room was basically attorneys and members of the press. The two sides essentially litigated the case when they were making the argument for bail or no bail. Prosecutors say he's a flight risk. He's an extreme danger to the community. He's a serial abuser, they say, and a serial obstructor. His attorney argued that he had earned the trust of the court and of the judge because he flew to New York in anticipation of being arrested and wanted to turn himself in. They also mentioned that he's in the process of trying to sell his plane. He handed over his passports to his attorneys, but the judge ruled he be held without bail. Sean Diddy Combs is accused of creating a criminal enterprise of using employees, resources, and influence to allegedly carry out crimes including sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and obstruction of justice. That employees like security staff, household staff, personal assistants, and high-ranking supervisors allegedly helped facilitate and cover up his abuse and sex escapades, never intervening. Other arrests could be coming.
I'm not taking anything off the table.
The previously reported March 2016 Los Angeles hotel video showing Diddy attacking then-girlfriend singer Cassie was referenced in the indictment.
A member of the hotel security staff intervened, and Combs attempted to bribe the staff member with a stack of cash to make sure that what happened was kept quiet.
The indictment alleges Diddy abused people for decades, verbally, emotionally, physically, and sexually. He's accused of manipulating women to participate in highly orchestrated performances of sexual activity with male commercial sex workers. These elaborate sex performances were referred to as freak-offs, which Combs is accused of arranging, directing, and recording.
The freak-offs sometimes lasted days at a time, involved multiple commercial sex workers, and often involved a variety of narcotics.
He's accused of sometimes giving people drugs like cocaine, oxycodone, and ketamine, to name a few, controlling their careers, using money and threats allegedly to get what he wanted. During these so-called freak-offs and at other times, it's alleged he hit, kicked, and threw objects at and dragged victims. Some injuries took days or weeks to heal, and he allegedly used the recordings of them as collateral. In March 2024, during searches of his Miami and LA homes, law enforcement seized drugs and more than 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricant, guns, ammo, and 3 AR-15s with the serial numbers defaced. His attorney says they are not his guns.
Mr. Combs is a fighter. He's going to fight this to the end. He's innocent. We're appealing the decision to hold him without bail.
Combs faces a minimum of 15 years behind bars, up to life in prison if convicted on these 3 felony counts. His attorney says he is fighting the no bail ruling today. There is a bail appeal hearing scheduled for tomorrow, Christine.
All right, some shocking allegations there, Alice. Thank you for that update. Diddy's legal troubles first picked up steam last year. He has faced a number of lawsuits since then, filed by an unnamed music producer to former college student Joy Dickerson, and most recently, one of the singers from the band Danity Kane, Dawn Richard. Now, the first lawsuit came in November of 2023 from Diddy's ex-girlfriend, singer Cassie, alleging years of abuse and rape. The two parties settled the next day. And then in March, federal agents raided his homes in Miami and LA. In May, video surfaced showing Combs attacking Cassie in an LA hotel in 2016. He publicly apologized days later. In June, Combs returned his key to the city at the request of Mayor Adams. All of this now leading up to his arrest yesterday. Do stay with CBS News New York. We brought you the news conference live when that indictment was unsealed earlier today, and you can read the entire.
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
Here we go again.
Hey, I was wondering where the hell this shit came from. What the hell was? I said, did somebody say that?
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
Here we go again.
This shit, man. And to think I sat up here. Well, I don't think I sat up here. I think I sat I was in a group chat. You know, when the Cassie shit happened. But when that footage came out, that's when I had to, you know, I kind of, you know, man, what you gonna do, Diddy? What you gonna? I mean, first the bail. Let's talk. I do want to talk about that.
Yeah, me too.
As far as him turning in his passport, because these are all things you do if you want to get bail. You're gonna turn in your passport. Hey, I ain't going to no other country. Take these passports. Take this. Take that. No pun intended. But she said, what she say? Cupcake said something about the tampering with evidence would be a reason why.
Is that because, and I know what she's speaking of, she's talking about, like, you know, for the witnesses.
Right.
Like, you let his ass out and then he around here, goddamn, you going to be some witnesses missing. You know?
Because of the guns with the scratched off serial numbers, the baby oil and the lubrication, because who knows? Why are they mentioning baby oil? That's why this a lot of. Why is they mentioning baby oil? I guess it must have been that much baby oil that they're like, we just got to take a picture of this and bring it up in the press conference. All this KY jelly they got sitting up on this table.
Hey, that's what I thought. It had to be a whole bunch of
it. Got to be.
It's not normal for you to have goddamn a whole closet full of fucking baby oil, bro. What the fuck is you doing? They was entering some areas on the body that might need that baby oil.
Yeah, some areas don't need baby oil. You know,
Exactly.
women got natural baby oil, but you know, men, you know, man. So, I don't know. I guess initial thoughts, man, because we done been down this road before. You know, we here once again.
Listen, you know how your boy feel. I think Diddy is evil, and you know, in the beginning, like I said, when the rumors started coming out years and years and years ago of who he really was as a person, you know, I never forgot that shit because too many people was talking about these goddamn Diddy parties.
These
parties. I remember Exhibit was one of the first ones to talk about it, bro. Exhibit is a real street nigga from the West Coast. So he ain't got no reason to allow you, Diddy. You feel what I'm saying? And it just kept happening. It kept happening. There were stories and stories. So I feel Diddy is in a whole bunch of trouble. And I don't think it's going to stop right here, Diddy. I think there's going to be a whole lot more people that end up being in trouble because the association with Diddy, probably a part of this whole ring that he's created, because they got footage of these freak offs.
Freak offs.
Freak offs. Yeah.
Let's talk.
Go ahead.
My thing is, how did the police know to call it a freak off?
Witness statements. And talking to different people, or hell, you know, on the motherfucking footage, that shit probably came on. Like, just says the freak off. Take that.
Man, look, he was saying that shit repeatedly. The freak off and something the freak off and the freak off the body oil and baby oil and lubrication and like the whole shit. I was in a fucking U-Haul truck at this time. I'm listening to the shit, driving, and I'm like, what the fuck is
Hey, and the crazy thing, he said it was like this shit was a fucking marathon. He said that shit lasts for days. I said, God damn. Yeah, they was on some heavy drugs, bro. And it was one store, I don't know if it was that one, but they said they would get these girls X-Pill and this other drug. I cannot remember the name of it.
Was it ketamine?
Yeah. Yeah, it keep them in a state where they're gonna obey and do what they're asked to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, damn, Diddy. And the fact that they got all of this evidence, I don't see how anybody can say Diddy ain't gonna at least do 15 years. He gonna do at least 15 years. I promise you that.
And the
this motherfucker get off.
Crazy part, ketamine, it's a tranquilizer, and all them other shits is uppers. So you got an upper and a downer at the same time. If people your heart gets confused by taking an upper and a downer at the same time, and that shit can end lethally. Taking these two different types of drugs like that. What's good? Uno in the building.
Oh, a zipper from Detroit? Shit, I ain't know that. Maybe they got damn. I thought it was from the fucking West Coast. Shit.
Yeah, it's one of them things. You know how it go. He repped that West though. Timothy Taylor say Diddy didn't learn from Bill Cosby. He should have moved to Bali with Russell Simmons where he couldn't be extradited. Yeah, well, I think his pride man came into play with that. Cupcake, it was a rapper being held without bond, waiting second trial. I think YNW Melly, maybe you talking about. D-Love, everybody that watched this and didn't leave and or report needed charge.
Yeah, it's a lot of people that's involved, whether it was voluntarily or they just are holding information, which knowing about this type of shit, that don't make you no less of a person than Diddy. To me, I mean, I know it wasn't your idea, but you see these people getting treated like this.
Yeah. You start to think about the Epsteins and things like that when we start talking about this case. I think arson was mentioned in the case as well. So I will say that Cassie, what she started, I think it has been heard, and I feel like as well there is some sort of evidence because this is a federal case. I feel like for the feds to have some sort of arson in there. We heard the story about what's the dude? He's on the fence with it type shit.
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
Damn, how I forget his name. The singer dude,
Somebody gonna put in the chat.
Kid Cudi car.
Oh yeah, Kid Cudi.
Yeah. So that that's arson right there, and we heard that in the Cassie situation. So some of these things that have already came out, I do think, and when it comes to the confession, or not the confession, but the apology that Diddy put out, I'm pretty sure that is going to be played at some point in time during this situation, because as soon as that footage came out, Diddy was up here sweating on the camera. He's sweating on the camera. Beijing running down the side of his face. He's sweating on the camera. But
I think it was at that point How they say in that goddamn little snippet, at this point, Diddy knew he fucked up. Because you got, I don't know what Diddy thought. I don't know how long he thought he was gonna get away with this shit. You know what I'm saying? Because over the years, like me, you had talked about, he has developed so many enemies. He done so many people wrong for his contracts and all that type of shit. You didn't think this shit was gonna backfire on you one day, my nigga? I don't give a fuck how much money you got.
Right.
Hey, sometimes it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Some people overlook that money, or they look at it like, you know what? Fuck your money. I think you should be behind bars. And if they can find a way to get your money during the process, just like Cassie did, hey, why not? Shit, fuck you.
You said, well, they
I don't
did.
like Diddy. I don't.
They said he did to that point that you just did mention. They said he did sell his boat or sell his. Yeah, you don't need boats and you know, behind bars. You sell that shit, man. House out there in the bungalows and shit, whatever the fuck. Sell all that shit. You gonna need that shit.
Yeah, you know what? He did a lot of shit prior to his arrest because he knew he was going to get arrested, like you said, and he knew he wanted bond. So those moves he was making, like flying back to New York, you know, giving up passports, he didn't look like a fucking flight risk. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But they found out that, you know, you've been fucking with the witnesses and shit. Nah, we can't leave you out here so you can goddamn hurt somebody or try to pay somebody off not to fucking testify. Nah. Sit your ass in here with the rest of them. Yeah, that's what you should be doing.
In the actual press conference, they were asking a bunch of questions about, and they kept prying. But the people who were holding the press conference, they stood strong. Like, look, we can't give you that information at this time. Like, about the whole situation about him coming there and him allegedly about to turn himself in the next day, but they got him the day before. They kept asking them about that. They're like, hey, we cannot give you that information. The last question, they got up all the way to the end. They asked it one more time. I don't know what they was thinking, if they were going to get a different answer or what. But they sure did ask it. And they like, hey, we can't tell you that. We can't tell you the details about that. But yeah, it's alleged that he did go back to Manhattan to be here, and that he was, I guess, allegedly gonna turn himself in the next day, and they came early type shit. That's what I'm hearing, but that hasn't been confirmed by anybody. But that's what I'm hearing.
They was supposed to go pick him up the next day. You know what I'm saying? But they decided to come early. I don't know why. Maybe they didn't trust him. I don't know. But either way, his lawyer already prepared him for the situation that was about to happen.
Right.
So ain't no use of running. You are P. Diddy. You're easily spotted, bro.
Oh yeah. No.
But Timothy Taylor said if Diddy don't get bail, they're going to murk him inside because he can snitch and take down Black Hollywood. You know, I can't ignore that statement because just like I was talking to YJ backstage.
Oh yeah.
About Epstein, you know, they said it was suicide, but was it?
Right.
They said during that time of the, I guess, the alleged suicide, cameras wasn't working in the area, all kind of shit. So, and I don't have no proof, but if Diddy was a part of that operation, allegedly, then why wouldn't Diddy send somebody to murk his ass? Not saying that happened, but it's just a thought. Goddamn mind.
Yeah, now he in the same shithole. Diddy White Drug Mule is going to testify. Yeah, we remember that, you know, they got his supposed drug mule and all of that. So we'll see what happened, you know, when it come down to it. There wasn't that much information given out in the press conference. From what I heard, it was, you know, it was a bunch of sensational facts, I guess, that they have about baby oil and video cameras and what's on the video camera and, you know, what they doing on the video camera and whatnot at these freak offs. Diddy freaky ass 69 God, that's the real 60. Y'all talking about Drake 69, that guy. God damn it, that motherfucker Diddy, that's the 69 God.
Diddy is a freak, bro. He is definitely a freak.
Freaky ass nigga.
And the alleged rumors that Diddy sweet and soft. Yeah, I believe it. I believe it.
Said male sexual commercial workers. The way they worded that shit was wild. Like, whoa. So it's a lot. It's a lot. I'm not gonna go too far because I already done went there with it. But
fuck Diddy, man. I'm sorry. I don't like it.
Nah, I ain't got no defense for that man. I don't know. Timothy Taylor kind of seemed like you kind of on the defense a little bit for that man. So I don't know how you feel about it, but yeah, I ain't really got no defense for that man. Man, he done made that bed. You got to lay in that bed you made.
There you go. Well, I almost played that goddamn song too. You gotta lay in that bed, bro. Yeah, I mean, it's when you're that rich, bro. When you're that rich, why create problems for yourself that's unnecessary? That's what I don't understand. You know, I guess people say, well, you never had that type of money. You're absolutely right. But I know goddamn real, I ain't that stupid either. Goddamn, I can have any woman, I ain't gonna say any woman, but I can have a lot of women that I can choose from that's a high caliber type of woman. And you mean to tell me I gotta do this type of shit? Man, come on, bro. How stupid does that sound, man?
Yeah.
I think with money comes great responsibility, and some people just let that shit go to their head. They want to have more power than what they should have just because they got money. No, that shit can be taken from you. Yep, and now they finna take that from you. Sorry.
Damn. Hey, that's true though. All facts. He giving it up. You know. Shit. Them people. Yeah. Man,
Look, hold on. Let me just say this real quick.
Go ahead.
I know somebody in the chat just been fucking with me every time I say so. Look at NBA Youngboy. Where he at?
I say NBA. I think he got some calendars. It looked like from the
27 months.
That ain't too much. So you know he gonna be here, man. He young. You know maybe that was what he needed. You know to get his shit right, man. I ain't gonna lie, with young boy, I'm kind of rooting for that young man. Even though his music trash and whatnot, I'm kind of rooting for him. Cause I feel like he got it's something going on with that man. Like it's some of these people like I kind of, you know, like Blueface and like, I don't know, man. I have a little bit of grace. I try to have grace, you know, with the youth type thing, man. You know, don't throw your goddamn life away. You done threw that motherfucker in the garbage. You got everything you need, goddamn it. That's why I think that's why I'm so mad at goddamn
Hey, I knew she was gonna pop up when you said what you said.
Well, you know why I threw that in there? Because of that comment. She said, what she say? Jay-Z is untwisting his dreads as we speak. I said, you know what? I got to throw it. As soon as I heard NBA Youngboy, I said, let me throw a shot at NBA Youngboy. She talking about he untwisting his dread. You can't untwist them dread. They're freeform dread. That's the kind of dreads I had. They're freeform, goddamn. You can't undo them freeform.
For real. Hey, no. You know, it wouldn't be Miss T if she didn't say what she say, you know. But
yeah.
I don't know, man. Let me ask you this because you just said something. I almost forgot.
Go ahead.
Do you have grace for Julio? Even though he's gone, God bless his soul. Did you have grace for him?
You mean after he passed?
Well,
never mind.
Let's say he would have got arrested.
No, and I take that back because of that video he did at that grave site. Like after that, your level of grace that you get is dependent on your actions. You know, motherfucking NBA Youngboy, he was, you know, popping pills and had enormous amounts of pills while being on paper. Like that's
right.
that's a little different from sitting on somebody's grave, rapping about and celebrating their death. Like you at that point, your grace was out. Like you actually really just outlived your grace, or you outlived your lifespan because of that shit. Because that was like 4 years ago. And the point he passed, and I hate to be like that, but God damn it, you was out here wilding, man.
Absolutely, I agree.
And to the fact that Timothy Taylor, Gene Deal need to sit his ass the fuck down. I'm so sick of seeing Gene Deal talk about this and that when it comes to Diddy. He need to sit the fuck down somewhere. I don't know.
Hey, I'm with you. We're gonna go ahead and get to the meat and potatoes, man, tonight. We got a story for y'all. Not sure if anybody's familiar with it, but let's go ahead and let's get to it. So tonight, meat and potatoes. I believe this is in Chicago. No, this is in DC. Excuse me.
DC, yeah.
It's coming from DC, and it's crazy that we're right in the middle of getting ready to elect a new president.
Yeah.
This story, the situation, is sad and it's fucked up. I don't know. We'll get you guys' opinion on what you think could have happened or what could have prevented this from happening. This is Justin Robertson,
yeah,
who was shot and killed by DC police, and they call him a violence interrupter. I'm assuming he was one of those people who was for the city trying to, do something positive. That's what I took from that title. That was the first time I ever heard of it.
Yeah, I never heard of it either, but that is definitely what he was labeled as on the story.
Yeah, but and I believe he was pulling up at a drive-thru to get him something to eat one late night, and my assumption was he had to be intoxicated because before he even reached the first one, you know how you got a restaurant, a fast food restaurant where you got the first window and the second window. Before he got to the first window, there's like a break in the building, and he hit it, and he went to sleep. So to me, that said he was fucked up.
Yeah, it had to be something. If it wasn't lean, it was some drink. I lean towards the lean or Xanax, muscle relaxer, which is Xanax. I would lean to something more like that other than alcohol. But it was definitely something. You don't sleep. If it wasn't either one of those, he was playing possum.
I don't think he was playing possum. No, hell no.
I don't think so either.
No. But he actually fell asleep with his gun in his lap. And when I heard the story and heard that part, I said, yeah, I can almost imagine how this happened. So we're going to be going through this footage, showing you the details and pointing out certain things that we see. And we definitely going to touch on them, and your comments and your feedback is welcome. Is there a certain spot you want to start at, Jizzle?
You could play a couple minutes in and then skip to that first time. Did I send you the timestamp? Hold on, let me do this. All right, so now in the private chat, the punctuation might be off, but those are the times. Yeah, you maybe could start it a little more than that. But yeah, 4:40. That's the first stamp.
All right, here we go.
No. No.
So that's his white car. The white car is what he's in.
Get out. You're too drunk to.
All right, and right now, I just want to stop this real quick before we get to this part. This part here pisses me the fuck off. They're trying to get people to go back the other way, go around, because of the situation and how dangerous it could be for innocent bystanders. Because, like I said, he has a gun in his lap. He sleep, but they don't know what he's going to do when he wake up. So what they're trying to do now is get people to get out of the area. Now, we got to talk about this young lady.
He's in the white car. He's in the white car that's in front of this woman here. That's all I was going to point out.
Car and walk now. I'm not going to repeat myself. Get out of the car and walk now. This is not a game. It's okay. You have to walk. Ma'am, I'm working right now. Get out of the car. If you don't get out, I'm ripping you out of the car.
No, you're not.
I'm going to count down. 3, 2, get out of the car.
No, you're not.
There's a man in this car with a gun. I need you to get out of the car now. Miss, I do not care what you're doing. Get out of the car. You are drunk. I'm not going to arrest you for DUI.
They've been sitting here for 30 minutes.
Miss.
I live right off the street. I live.
Obstruction of justice, goddamn it.
I don't care.
Get your ass the fuck out. We got work to do.
Hey, she doing so much fucking talking. She didn't even hear him say there's a man in this car with a gun because she wanted to argue with him.
Right.
Get your ass out the fucking way. Obviously, you drunk. He could have took your drunk ass to jail. That shit just aggravated the fuck out of me.
Obstruction of justice. Shit.
God damn.
She didn't even hear.
Do you understand? Drunk to listen. You are too drunk to listen.
Titties hanging all out.
Yeah. White car. Yeah.
Put your car in reverse. Go that way. Hey, can you do me a favor and get them out of here too?
So from here, boss, we can go to the other one. Oh, it's already it. Damn, we down there right now. Okay. So yeah, from there, he basically told the woman who was tripping, waiting on her burgers and shit, he told her just to reverse. How that ended, that whole little debacle right there. I was like, what the fuck? He telling you why the fuck he trying to get you to do what you got to do. So she ended up reversing, and now they're at the point. This white car, which you see, it's already smacked up in the front quarter panel on the right side, already smacked up. This man's sitting here in this car, completely asleep.
Yep.
And that's where we at right now. And I think there was some dialogue at this point that I wanted to touch on, but we could play it and then we can go forward, depending,
Yeah, because it said the next one was 6:14. We done passed that.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to continue to play from here?
Yeah.
All right.
7:02 p.m. midnights. The driver of the vehicle looks like he's slowly waking up and having the firefighters clear all the vehicles at the McDonald's lot. So I need
my thing at this point.
After it's cleared out.
My thing at this point, and you can go forward to like 9 minutes or something like that. But at this point, the police have to form like the planning of it is my thing. I feel like the planning was lax a lot as far as plan A, plan B, plan C. this is a point where this man is asleep. So I feel like it should be, okay, if the door is locked, we're going to do this. That's plan A. But if the door is unlocked, that's plan B. We're going to do this. We're going to open it up and do it this way. Okay, and if it's this, like, you got a lot of time. Like, we're moving forward, but you see two policemen walking back by the dumpster. They're not communicating with the officer who's getting back in his car. Like, I feel like there should be more of a huddle type of mentality when it comes to something like this. Like, this man sitting in the car, like, what's the plan type of thing?
Right, and I agree with you. I think the guy whose body cam footage we're seeing this through, I ain't gonna lie to you, just the way he's talking, the way he's directing orders, and I don't know what his position is as an officer, but he has to me like a cocky attitude. And I feel like, going back to what you said, he didn't communicate what we're going to do with nobody. He's steady directing people. Hey, move your car, move your goddamn car. And at the end of the time, he had to end up moving his because everybody else's car was away, far away. Instead of him just doing the right thing, because he had one officer move his car who was, I think, on the other side of the building. So he just drove on around and parked it directly behind the car. He needed someone to get in for it, and there was no other cars.
Right.
So instead of you sit here trying to, hey, we need to go, man, your car right there, go move it in front of it. So that's what he eventually had to do. He carried this attitude that I'm the big shit, and I'm gonna make sure whatever happens according to how I want it to happen. And I'm not trying to say this was his motive. I'm not gonna say that, but I knew he was gonna be the one who caused the problem. That's just my opinion.
Scoot forward. Let's go. Let's do it like 30-second increment. Just scoot forward and see what we see until we get to that 12.
Okay, I'm right now. I'm at the 9-minute mark, and I think he's gonna move his car now.
Okay.
Watch out.
They're getting the EMS out.
Watch out. Watch out. Watch out.
They're getting the fire department and all that, because we seen the fireman earlier walking around. They're getting everybody basically clearing the scene basically, and that's what you want to do. So that still sleep.
So what we need is we need deadly coverage and we need an extraction. Okay? No.
That's not a bad.
The doors are unlocked, but I haven't checked yet.
I was just gonna say that's not a bad thing. What he said there, that's basically. I mean, yeah, he has deadly force, so they need deadly coverage. I don't want that to get taken, crazy. Like, we need deadly. Like, yeah, I mean, you got to have something.
Yeah, just in case he wakes up in a violent rage or whatever the case may be, which he's going to get something to eat. So I don't think that's the case. But I think the biggest issue is the fact that he has his gun sitting on his lap.
Yeah.
I was going to actually ask you a question, Jizzle.
That's good.
What you think would have happened? Oh, is it a problem if they would have just tried to knock on his window?
I feel like that should have been the first step.
Okay. I know it sounds simple, but
right now,
why not just try knocking on the window? But
we could play it and see. I don't think. Yeah, they never knocked on the window. Like,
yeah, I don't know they didn't.
Hey, turn her around. Huh?
See, the back window is actually rolled down.
Is it rolled down far enough to get a hand through?
I'm going to go back just a tad bit. Where we at? 19. Let's go back to about 16.
That would be my thing.
A little bit further. It looks like. Can you see my mouse?
Yeah, I can't tell if it's rolled down or not though, because of that
Right here. Because he got is it tinted? Well, it looked like he got tinted windows. As you can see here, it's dark here. And
yeah,
then it's
yeah,
clear.
I see. I didn't know if it was a clear or a dark tint, but the back window is dark tint. So yeah, that would make sense.
And the officer, the black officer, you gonna hear him. I think hopefully we haven't passed that part, but he actually says the back door right here on the driver's side is unlocked.
Yeah, that's what I did hear him say that. But that's far away. That's not within grabbing. That's not within grabbing distance. I will say,
Right.
you know.
Agreed. Yeah. It's gonna pop off.
We have a yo. So Sarge.
They're about 8 deep at this point.
Oh, we got movement.
We got movement.
All right, so he's actually getting up, waking up, and this is what things are gonna pop off.
Movement. We got movement. Keep your hand off the gun. Sir!
Put your hands up!
Hands up! Hands up! Hands up! Hands up!
You can hear that through that window. I know that much.
Yeah, I think see how the windows roll down right here?
Yeah.
Now his hand actually looked like it went forward to that steering wheel. Did you see that?
Right. And that would be a natural muscle memory type thing, I think. Like when it comes to waking up in the car. I think he's not fully woke while he's reaching up right there.
Absolutely.
Movement. We got movement. Keep your hand off the gun. Sir!
Put your hands up!
Hands up! Hands up! Hands up!
Right there.
Yeah.
Hands up! Hands up!
Now he sits back. Now, from what I heard in the press conference when they broke the story down, the gun that they saw is going to be picked up by his left hand, not his right hand. And I think we're going to play this in regular speed, and it won't slow it down so we show you exactly what he did.
Sir, don't touch the gun! Hands up! Hands up! Hands up! Hands up!
Sound like someone said, shoot him.
Yeah, you know who it was. The same guy I've been talking about.
That black dude who was pulling on the handle, probably because it sounded real close.
No.
Yeah, this is one for the slow mo, and I hate that. You know.
So what I'm going to show you here is something that I caught just watching it in slow mo. Now, just remember, people, what we see is happening in real time. We can slow this shit down. They can't. I'm gonna mute it, and then I'll show you what we're looking at. You're reaching on the door, so the door is actually locked. You don't see no hands yet. You don't see his hands move yet. Come on, computer. Now you see his right hand come up right here. What he's doing is grabbing the barrel of the gun that the officer is pointing at him.
Right.
See that? His hand is on the officer's gun, this right hand. His left hand, you still can't see. Somebody saw him grab that gun. And as he backed up, he shot him. And that lets you know the window was rolled up because he shot through it.
Right.
Well, hold on. It wasn't all the way rolled down because he couldn't have grabbed his gun if that was the case. You feel what I'm saying?
Right. But you see the shattered glass after he shoots, basically.
Right.
And from what it's one of them bang up plays like in football where it's bang bang. Because we talked about the right hand and what the right hand did. And when you talk about the left hand, in the eye of an officer with the gun on the lap and that left hand being free, we seen his hand go forward to the steering wheel. His hand was on the steering wheel. And then play it through a little bit more. To me, it looked like it came off. And I go to the no sudden motions type of thing. Like that left hand, because to me, it's inconclusive as to what his left hand did after it left the steering wheel. But everybody in the chat, I would implore you, next time you're in the car, put your hands on your lap and see how many inches it is from the steering wheel. So there's a very short, quick, close in proximity motion from going to, if it's a gun on your lap and it when it's on the steering wheel. And this is just me being honest, man. I definitely rest in peace to this brother, man. For I don't like to see it ever. But what I will say when it comes down to it, when I'm watching it now, I kind of feel like the police may have made a split decision to it, but there was only a split decision that it could, when it comes to the Sonya Massey cousin shooting, like these things it's bang bang with it type shit, and that shit is hard. It's hard to make that decision, but I do feel like there's a lot that the police did not do or could have did differently.
At this point, his hand looks like it's on the steering wheel. I don't see a gun in his left hand at this point.
Right.
It looks like it's coming off the steering wheel, and then his right hand is reaching to grab the barrel of the officer's gun or trying to push it away from, maybe if he shoot, it won't hit me. You know what I'm saying? So that tells me if that gun is not in his left hand right now, it has to be on his left thigh or somewhere on his left side, because they said the gun was in his lap.
Right. And we see
over here.
And we see his right. Yeah, we see his right side. And from a just, a point of like what it would take for that, it's splitting straws at this point. I think that's my point.
But the officers already knew where the gun was located though, because they seen it when he was asleep. So if he never touched it or never moved it, as he woke up, they know where that gun is located, and if his hand get anywhere near it, they're gonna shoot.
Right.
But we also heard, get your hand off that gun. So did he grab it? And we heard that before we got to this part, but there's no gun in his hand. So where is the gun? It has to be on that left-hand side, because in the news press, they said he picked that gun up, and that's why they shot him. And I know it got to be some news. It has to be some body cam footage from other officers, especially on the other side of the car, because remember, there were officers on the other side of that car, and I know we skipped through a lot of it. They said, watch the crossfire.
Right.
And he also said, if you're aiming, point down so it doesn't go across and hit any of us, pretty much.
Right.
Nobody else got shot, but I need to see that footage from the other officer that was on the other side of that car. And that has not been released. So let me ask this. I know people want to, like, you know, so what do you think? Do you think this is justified? Jizzle, you there?
Yo, yo, yo.
Okay, I can hear you now.
You hear me now? Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. I think the mistakes, for one, as we brought up, as D-Love said, knocking on the window, trying to wake him up. Not, you know, the formulation of the plan, the formulating the plan, forcing to wake up, and being back when that happens. Like, I feel like the point of contention was so close to his waking up that whatever actions or movement, any little action or movement would have caused the police officer to be like, you know, in their mind, I got to go home tonight. Fight or flight, you can call it whatever you want.
So let me ask you this. I know he woke up before they made any movement. Do you think that their plan was to knock at that window to wake him up, or were they just waiting for him to get up? Because me personally, waiting for someone to get up and startle them, which knocking at the window could as well. You never know. But I don't know what their plan was.
Knocking on the back trunk, boom, boom, boom. Not wake him up, get him coherent first. Stay back. One person knock on the, see what happens. I felt like there was so much patience that was had for him to get up, and then at a certain point, no patience at all.
Yeah, the first thing they started doing was screaming, put your hands up, put your hands up. Off rip, like you said, when you wake up, you still, you're not coherent of what's going on around you. It takes you a moment to realize, okay, these are officers, not somebody trying to rob me. You know what I'm saying? And then of course we got to take in the fact that he probably was drunk. His mind wasn't all the way there. It probably took a little time for him to even realize where the hell he was at. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think nothing's gonna happen to an officer. And I'm not sitting here saying it should or it should, but we can talk about what they should have done or what they shouldn't have done. But we can break the footage down and look at it in slow-mo. But they got to react in real time. And like you said, Jizzle, their goal is to go home to their families. Taking a chance, being Mr. Nice Guy, sometimes can backfire. Because if they, you know, what if they would have just stood at the window, hey, buddy, he just, and then what? So I get it in this situation, bro.
Right.
It's
Sad
unfortunate.
situation.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that he lost his life. I don't know. Let's see what the chat talking about, man.
Yeah.
C say grabbing the gun was his mistake. He should not have grabbed it. I agree. I don't know what made him do that.
I mean, I believe if he even didn't use his left hand to reach for the gun that he had, grabbing an officer's gun, you think they're gonna let you take their gun from him? No. Yeah, I'll shoot you first. So I don't know if the reason he shot because he was trying to take his gun or because he was reaching for his own gun. I don't know. We haven't heard or read any statement from the officer. We just heard the chief speak. You there, Jizzle? Or you frozen? Jizzle done froze up on me. I thought you was sitting there chilling with me. Jizzle done froze up. Let's see, go through some more of these comments. Timothy Taylor say white police are terrified of black men at nighttime. Yeah, and we done seen that. We definitely done seen that. D-Love say, yep, communication is garbage. Most definitely. Yeah, D-Love, she agreed with the back window knock. I think hindsight is 20/20. But they are trained to handle situations. And I don't think they're trained on every potential situation that they can be placed in. But at the same time, they're trained to know the basics. And a lot of situations that they're faced with are similar. I've never seen this particular situation before. Were they trained for it? I don't know. But it's another sad situation where a black man lost his life. And this black man actually was doing something great for the community. And his life was taken. He made a bad decision. We can't deny that. Driving intoxicated. He hit the building, wrecked his car. And he could be licensed to carry that gun. So, and I'm pretty sure he is, if he's a violence interrupter. And that's an assumption. But you hear me? Yeah, I can hear you now. Ah, man. I forgot the fuck I was gonna say. Yeah, Timothy Taylor, you blessed. Because when you in these situations, you pulled over by law enforcement. And when they ask you, hey, I need this, I need that, especially at nighttime, Jim, I say, hey, I got to reach here to give you this. Can I reach for it? If they got them seem hesitant, I tell you what, let me just get out the car. You get it. That's you get it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because, some of them you can see the fear in them. And if you're being pulled over by a fearful ass cop, man, just get your ass out the goddamn. If you know you legit, get your ass out the car, man. Get out the car. Because the objective is to survive to live to see another day. I think for me that when it comes to him waking up and things like that, I keep going back to that because I know how I am when I first just wake up. Like it takes some recalibration for your mind to be in a sleep state to wake up, especially the older you get. I don't know how old he was, but I can tell the difference. Even if, it just take a little moment. Like you sit on the edge of the bed for a little second, right? You don't just pop the fuck up, bing, pop up like the motherfucking toaster oven, bing, and you up, you jump up out the bed, like, if you late for work or something. But I mean, normally when you wake up, especially depending on what drugs he was on, I just feel like, man, at the end of the day, man, I feel like they gotta handle these situations a little differently when it comes to the patients involved in the operation of what they do. Like this is an operation. This is a mission right here. Like go into it like the fucking Navy, like the Navy SEAL. Like get some. Okay, we on Operation gun on the lap. We going into this thing. We got these things laid out. We gonna do this, and I didn't see that. But maybe that's wishful thinking of me to think that policemen who are making under 100,000 a year would do something like that, because we know they don't make that much. So.
The question is, it goes back to the same question I asked about the school shootings. How can you stop those situations from happening if you don't know when they're going to happen? When it comes to these police officers, I get it. It's a very dangerous job. And like you said, I want to go home. At the end of the night, I want to go home to my family. And a split-second decision can cause you not to. Now, we done seen several situations where it was just blatant bullshit they shouldn't have done. But this one right here was kind of tough for me, bro. I ain't gonna sit here and lie to you, because for one, I couldn't see his left hand.
Right.
For two, he was drinking and driving. So it's a domino effect from there. He fell asleep at a damn drive-thru. He wrecked his car at the drive-thru. He fell asleep with his gun on his lap. And I'm not blaming him, but the accountability starts with him and the decision he made to drink and drive. But at the same time, the police officers have a job to do to protect and serve the community. And their number one job is to preserve life when possible. I just don't know what I would have done if I was in that situation. So I'm not bashing.
Someone grabbing a gun, you got a gun, screaming commands, hands in the air, and grabbing a gun, and it's a lot. It's a lot in that. It's a lot in that. And definitely when it comes to the community after this, yes, they were at the at the police station.
Yes, they were acting up, bro.
Them folks in DC was not playing with these police. They was out there, throwing bottles, throwing rocks. They was out there disperse. They throwing commands. I think they said like 6 or 7 people got arrested that night or the next day. I can't remember when it was, but definitely after this situation, there was a protest that started peaceful and it did not end peaceful. There was glass bottles thrown. Is the most, the wildest thing I heard was about the broken glass and things that was going on. People was riding around. The news station was right there. So I definitely did see that there was the aftermath or the aftershock of this from the community. But yeah, that tends to happen. DC, man, it's that whole area, man, that whole DMV area, man, from Baltimore, Maryland, DC. Yeah, it's definitely one of them places where you see some things.
Yeah, and I think the biggest takeaway, or should I say the biggest problem that's going to always remain when it comes to the common citizen and law enforcement, is the lack of trust, especially for a black man or for a black woman. We don't trust you, and rightfully so. Now, I'm not saying all cops are bad, but there's a shitload of bad apples in every precinct. And we don't know who to trust. You can try to do everything by the book as a common citizen in a situation where you're pulled over. And you still might not make it out. So, I don't know. We need to fix it. I know that. How? Yeah. I don't know.
Before we get up out of here, what's any did you look into any Trump situation with the golf situation with the attempted assassination or whatnot. The second attempted assassination of Trump.
No, and I can give an opinion, but I can't do that because I didn't even look into it. It shit is just weird to me. 2 assassination attempts, and they say they actually got the guy who did it or attempted. I think it was a 50-year-old.
They got him. They pinged his cell phone. 12 hours he was in the surrounding areas of this golf course, which it wasn't a public. Like, he didn't put it out there that it was a public place he was going to be, but I guess Sean Hannity spoke about it or something. So he had information that Trump was going to be at a golf course. He was on, in golf, there's different holes, hole 6, hole 7, hole 8. He was on hole something, and there was one social fuck they call them people, man. The security, social security. It's Social Security, Secret Service. I got you. One Secret Service basically went to the hole ahead of where Trump was at, and he spotted a gunman on the tree line of the golf course, and spotted him and engaged him. They haven't came out with the details. I see you, Timothy Taylor, giving me that piece of information, but basically spotted him ahead of time and engaged him, which was the words was used, and he actually fled, and there was actually an eyewitness who seen him running, get in the car, and he got the footage, gave it to Secret Service, and they found him later on, shortly after thereof, that he was there because of the license plate from him. And he actually had some history that was very interesting. So, man, Trump going through it.
Mm-hmm. I'd rather keep my comment to myself.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
Because I don't want to sound like no dickhead. That's 2 goddamn attempts. When the fuck have you ever heard of that? When the fuck have you ever heard of that?
We seeing a lot of firsts this year. Like, with this, we seeing a lot of shit. I just wanted to point out, we seeing a lot of shit we never seen before in this year, man.
I want to see Trump, man. I want to see that shit. I want to see it.
He went back to Mar-a-Lago. They say the security level is up to 1,000 at Mar-a-Lago. He went straight back. I went out to end this off. I will say, I don't feel like anybody's political point of view or involvement in politics. There's nothing involving with politics that should, deserve this. Like, this is just, like, I understand people. We hate Trump, but god damn, y'all these people, they trying to really knock that man off, man. Like, really. Like, they really trying to kill this man. Like, they said it was a GoPro. He had a GoPro tied to the fence that was sitting there. So he wanted to actually capture this assassination. AR such and such with a 300-meter scope on it. I don't know. I'm going to leave it at that. I just, I'm like, shit, we up here. Let me talk about it. But
yeah, I feel you. But yeah, man, I think that's all we had. We had one more, but we'll leave it. It was Wayne, but I don't talk about that so much. It is what it is. But yeah, man, we here for another one next week. It'll be EP 37. Thank y'all for tuning in, rocking with us another Tuesday night. And we're gonna get up out of here.
Yes, sir.
So with that being said, I guess I'm gonna just close my eyes and fucking play one. Yeah.
Go ahead, man. We out.
Arthur. Look, it's a war going on. Niggas versus black folk. Niggas with these switches versus our past hope. Dreams of what the king said didn't last though. Some black folks say Martin Luther King dream wasn't even what they asked for. But hindsight is clairvoyant. No eyesight to see the snare's voyage. Treading through them waters with a bear's buoyance. Said we gon' float regardless. These environments could've broke the heartless, but instead the fire within would show where the heart is. Yeah. Every bar I spit, I mean it. These are the verses that I was thinking when I came up with the hook for king shit, yeah. Same goes for black royalty. When I speak, it's not a nuance. And every thought been fostered by the truth bond that I made with myself. We listen to genocide over instrumentals, then wonder why this genocide's living in our mental. We listen to genocide over instrumentals, then wonder why this genocide living in our mental. Shouts to Blake, I know they understand this type of motion that I move on combats the cancerous, cause it's a war going on. Niggas versus the black folk. Some white people listen like, oh, I didn't know that was happening. Keep on rapping then. Niggas versus black folk, that's all that I know. Blacks versus niggas, that's all that I know. I know. Niggas versus black folk, that's all that I know. I know. Blacks versus niggas, that's all that we know. We know, we know, we know, we know, we know, we know. That's all that we know. That's all that we know. It's a war going on, two ways of thinking. And if you talk like this, they say you preaching. Well, let me preach then. And I take that badge. They say I'm a conscious rapper, cause I don't talk about gangster shit. That ain't that bad, not to me. That gangsta shit ain't got us nowhere, but it did get us in the same locks and chains we used to wear before the smoke cleared. They turned the whole prison into a business, then they what? Put nothing but us off in this shit crazy. The numbers are staggering, the money's the catalyst that twisted the knife after the dagger was in. If this is life now, then imagine the end. Yeah, if this is life now, then imagine the end. Look, if this is life now, then imagine the end. Niggas versus black folk, that's all that I know. Blacks versus niggas, that's all that I know. I know. Niggas versus black folk, that's all that I know. I know. Blacks versus niggas, that's all that we know. We know.
I just wanted to say, before we get up out of here, I just recently learned that my motherfucking apartments, I'm paying my internet through my apartments, right? I got Spectrum before they got the contract with my apartments. That's what it boiled down to. And I done noticed my fucking service. I'm thinking that the whole time it's my motherfucking my computer and shit. When it come down to it, man, y'all gonna have to bear with me. I be jumping off and on camera trying to, because it seems like it fuck up more when I'm on camera. So y'all gonna have to bear with me. I'm in these fuck ass apartments, and I got a contract. I pay my internet through my motherfucking rent. Ain't that some shit? I pay my internet. I don't even have a choice as to what internet I got. And that shit been fucked up ever since they signed that fucking contract. So I just wanted to throw that out there to the people, man. Oh shit, man.
God damn it.
This shit pisses me off. Every fucking show I got some issues with my goddamn internet, man. But yeah, it's been episode 36. Goddamn it. We up out of here, man.
We gone.